Namaskar. Hello and very good afternoon everyone. Today we are going to discuss about class 5th English subject. But before going through the subject, let me tell you that you all have connected this time on our NCERT official YouTube channel, NCERT PME Vidya class number 5 and PME Vidya channel number 5. Dear viewers, this is a program for class 5th and this is a program from CIT NCERTs, and you can be the part of this session as well. You can call us on our number is 8800440559, and you can go to our live chat box as well, where you can drop your suggestions and query or any kind of question which is occurring in your mind. It is live chat box of NCERT official YouTube channel. And you want to write down something in detail. For that you can write down our email ID. Email ID is dth.class5@cit.nic.in. I am Sushma Sharma and today we are going to discuss with our expert. So let me introduce her also. She is Ms. Deepa Upadhyay ji. Deepa ma'am, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I am good, ma'am. And to know more about Deepa ma'am, so I'll let you know, she is the headmistress in KV, yani Kendriya Vidyalaya, Sector 22, Rohini, Delhi. And today we are going to discuss about the chapter Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe, you would have learned about more. What is it? It is Unit 3 and the My Shadow Part 2. It is the part of that unit. So, ma'am, first question I would like to ask you, what is all about in this story, Robinson Crusoe? Is it a first person narration? Is that so? Because as we have learned about or heard about it, Robinson Crusoe is a story about a person who was stuck somewhere where nothing was there and how he survived here.
Yes.
So, first go for the introduction.
Yes, I think Sushma ma'am, you already know a lot about the chapter. So, this chapter is written by Daniel Defoe and it is from his work Robinson Crusoe. It is just a part that we have in this NCERT book, and as you have said, it is written in first person. That means the character himself is telling about his story and what happens to him.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, at the end of the lesson, you must be knowing some new words, their meanings and usage.
Okay.
And you should be able to narrate the story in your own words.
Great.
And you should learn some values from this chapter, of course.
Of course.
Okay. Now, you wanted to know about the writer and his kind of work.
Something about his writing style.
Yes. So, he is Daniel Defoe, the writer of this chapter called Robinson Crusoe. And his writing style in this particular chapter is, as you said, it is first person narration. That means the character himself is talking to the readers, and it is very simple and very smooth, and it is explained in such manner. Yes, adventures are there and it is explained in such a manner that the reader can connect to the character himself.
Great.
Okay.
So, this is the real story where the reader or the listener or the spectators can think that it is the story about them, their story.
Their own story,
their
and
own story.
how will they deal with the situation if they are stuck in some problematic situation. Okay. But before I tell you the story of Robinson Crusoe, I am going to have some fun with words. Are you ready for it, ma'am?
Yes, I am ready, and I hope our children is they are also ready for your queries or your fun activity.
Yes, children, they are always ready for fun activities.
Right,
and if it is related to words and new words, they love doing it. So, here you can see on my table, I have a word pyramid.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have given you some hints also. So, would you like to begin from point number 1, 2-letter word or 6-letter word?
I think we should go for the toughest one first, so that our way can become little easiest way.
Okay, so you want to attempt the difficult one first and then the next one, right?
Right, ma'am.
So, first of all, you have to tell me a 6-letter word that begins with F.
Okay, 6-letter word, children.
That begins
and the letter begins
with F.
F letter.
Yes.
Okay, so it can be a father.
Of course, you have given me the right answer. Can you tell me the spelling?
Yes, F-A-T, and the fourth one is H, and the fifth is E, And the last one is R.
Absolutely correct.
And other word also can be here. If you have any other word, children, you can write some other word.
Yes.
That is faster also.
Okay, very good. You have given me one more option.
Yes, there is
Next one is a 5-letter word that begins with E.
E.
Yes.
Eager. Maybe
Eager.
I am eager to know more.
Yes, yes.
E-A. First is E. A. G. And the fourth one is E. And the last one is R.
Okay.
One more option you want, ma'am?
Of course.
Eagle.
You are free to give me as many answers as you can.
I have a second one only right now.
Okay.
So the eagle word is also there.
Okay.
So you can
Yes,
write
of course,
there.
it can be eagle also.
Eagle
Now
also.
you tell me a word that begins with D and has 4 letters in it.
D. D can be dear.
Dear, which dear are you talking about?
Lovable.
Lovable. So what is the spelling of that dear?
D-E-A-R.
Yes,
Or
deer.
it can be deer, the animal.
The other deer, that is the animal.
D-E-E-R.
That is
Yes.
D-E-E-R. Okay. Now you,
you
have
can
already.
also tell some other options, ma'am.
Yes, of course, I can tell you. I can tell you dusk.
Oh,
Dusk time.
Door.
Okay. Dawn. Dawn time. And the desk you see here.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
the door of the room.
A door, of
Or
course.
the work is done.
Work
That
is done.
D-O-N-E, done.
Yes. Now we have a 3-letter word that begins with C.
C. C for cat. Cat.
Okay.
Cot.
Cot.
Cot
What
bee.
is a cot?
Cot is like charpai.
Yes. Okay.
We call
So,
it charpai.
now the easiest one of all. It is a 2-letter word and it begins with B.
B.
Yes.
B. I'm pronouncing it B, but it is a B-E. We call
Okay.
it B.
Okay. And
Be the part of this session.
Yes,
Be the part, of, this session. Or by.
So see how beautifully you have made this word pyramid.
Thank you, ma'am. And I hope our children also would have loved it.
Yes, this is a very good exercise for vocabulary building.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
children, they can make their own pyramids according to their level of learning.
Level of
and
learning, right.
always encourage children to come up with new words. Okay, not the
Right.
usual words that we are studying in that particular class. They should always come up with new words.
New words,
Okay.
right, ma'am.
Now let us proceed further. In this chapter, you are going to find all these words. I'll just tell you the meanings of all these very quickly. So it is savages. Who are savages? Savages are wild people who are in primitive state. Okay, they are not as developed as we people are, and they have a different lifestyle from that of ours. Okay. Next is
Like tribals?
yes,
Like
you
we
can
call
say
it
tribals, but
tribals, some-
who are in their primitive state. You can see tribal people living among us also.
Right.
So they are not in the primitive state,
Okay.
right? So they are called savages. Next one is mainland, and mainland is a large continuous extent of land. If I explain it in terms of India, you know, India, it starts from Kashmir to Kanyakumari.
Kashmir to Kanyakumari.
And then
right.
we have Andaman Nicobar Islands and we also have Lakshadweep Islands, right? But these 2 islands are not a part of the Indian mainland, right?
Okay.
Because they are out of the common
Map.
stretch, the continuous stretch.
Stretch.
Okay.
We can see in the map also,
Yes.
it is quite different.
Yes. Okay. Now next word is wandered, that is going from one place to another without a definite route or definite purpose, right?
Ghumantu, we call
हाँ,
it
ऐसे ही
Ghumantu.
घूमना.
Here and there.
Yes. Next one is boulder. Boulder. It is made from
Boulder.
the word bold and
Yes.
it means somebody who is more confident.
Confident.
Okay.
Yes.
Next one is inhabited. Inhabited is where people live.
Live.
Occupied, something that is occupied or where people dwell in, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Like
I want to take a
lions
quick
habitat-
test. You know, I don't tell you a story before I take a quick test, right? So, I'll take a very quick test. You have to give me the answer. Wild people in primitive stages are called
Savage.
savage, yes. And the other 2 options are sage and saga, which are
Yes.
not the correct answers.
Right.
The correct answer is C part. Next one is occupied means intake, inhabited or
means-
habitat.
Habitat, I think.
Try once more.
Inhabited.
Inhabited, something
Inhabited,
that is
not
occupied,
habitat.
a place
Yes,
that is
occupied
occupied.
means, yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, can you guess which animals would have made these imprints?
Oh.
Because we are going to deal with imprints in the chapter.
Right, right.
Yes.
One is the man.
The first footprint
Person?
is of a person, of a
Yes.
human being.
Human being.
Okay. Next one,
Uh,
the round ones.
किसका हो सकता है मैम?
ये एक बहुत
We
बड़ा
have to find
animal
out.
है. It's a big animal.
Big animal, elephant.
Yes.
Oh.
You've got it right.
I just guessed it.
Yes, it's a big animal and its foot is rounded, you know. Okay, the
that's
next
right.
one, the small one.
Maybe deer.
Oh yes, you are such a sharp child, Sushma.
Because deer has two, like a goat,
yes,
na?
hooves. You
so-
can see the hooves there. Okay, and the next
the last
one.
one is lion. No.
Yeah, it could be of
It could
lion,
be
or
lion,
it could be
maybe
of tiger
tiger.
also,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So you know the meaning of imprints also, because this is playing a very important role in our story. Okay, now let
Okay,
us
ma'am.
enjoy the story.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to narrate you the story in the form of story itself, and so what happens is there's a man called Robinson Crusoe, okay, and he loves to travel, and what happens is that he gets deserted, his ship wrecks. I will tell you how ships wreck, and then what happens, he is stranded on an island, how he survives there, what difficulties does he face, this is all what we are going to see here. So, Robinson Crusoe is the main character, and he is a young man who dreams of traveling and having adventures like every young person does, right. So, he sets out on a sea voyage, and but his ship is caught in a storm and it sinks. Okay, you know what happens, ship is such a small thing in the vast ocean, and if any storm comes, a ship may
Sinks.
Now, Crusoe is the only survivor and is washed ashore on a lonely island. What happens is that all other fellow passengers, fellow travelers, they die, but he is the only survivor. Okay, and he is just washed ashore, means he faints and he is unconscious and he gets swept to the island, right. Next day when he wakes up, he finds himself on an island, and this is a picture of a shipwreck. This is what happens to a
Sinks.
ship
Oh.
when it sinks or when it is caught in a storm. This is what it happens to it. Okay, so maybe his ship got met with a similar fate. Now, Crusoe faces many challenges as he tries to survive alone on the island. Now, you just imagine, Shishma, that living on an island all by yourself, how would you manage
Very
your food?
scary, ma'am.
How?
It's very scary.
Yes, very
and
scary.
Very dangerous also.
And he builds a shelter, he grows his own crops, and he hunts for food. He learns to make tools and find ways to protect himself from wild animals, because though there are no human beings on the island, but of course there are wild animals. And other dangerous creatures. One day, Crusoe finds a strange footprint. Now, you understand why did I show you the pictures of those footprints? Okay. On the sand, which makes him very nervous. Now, he sees a strange footprint and he wonders, what is this? He realizes he may not be alone on the island.
Someone
now,
is
what
there.
does this mean? This means that some other human,
Some other creatures
yes,
or animals are
and
there.
that person could be very dangerous for him, and he feels worried about his safety. He comes to examine the footprint again in 2-3 days. He got very scared and he did not come out of his cave for 2-3 days. And you know what did he call his cave? In the story, he called it a castle.
Castle.
Yes.
Because it was the castle
Yes,
only
because it
for
was-
him.
it was
because
a-
it was saving his life.
Yes.
He was
So he
living-
named his cave Castle.
Castle.
Okay. And after that, he gathered some courage in 2-3 days and he comes back to the footprint.
Right.
He comes to examine and he is very sure that the island is inhabited by someone else. Now, how does he know that that footprint is not his?
Because the shape was different.
Yes, because the
course.
size was a bit bigger and he had never been to that side of the sea ever before.
Ever before.
Okay.
Right.
So, until this part is given in the book.
Right.
Now, children at this point, they are very curious to know what happens next. So, okay, we can ask questions to students. What would have happened next? Can you guess, ma'am?
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. What would maybe some animal would have been there, and that's why he would have seen him.
Yes.
And again, he hidden himself in the cave or castle.
Yes. So, students, they come up with different answers, and as the story ends here in the book, in the NCERT book, you can of course encourage children to read the entire book of Robinson Crusoe. Okay, next question what you can put to children is to ignite their creativity, imagination, that how had you been in the place of Crusoe, how would you have dealt with the situation?
Oh my God, very difficult question, because it depends person to person.
Yes.
The person who is daring or having the confidence he or she can save herself in
Yes.
this situation But if you are not that much of confident or not that bold person,
So
then it
again,
is
this
difficult.
is an open-ended question, and each child will answer according to his own trait. If he is very
Right.
bold, he'll have a different answer.
Right.
If the child is timid, he'll have a different answer.
Right, ma'am.
Okay. If he is very clever, a different answer. If somewhat very naive, then a different answer.
I would have made a call if I had been a phone call.
Yes.
Call someone.
Now, again, you can give one more question, open-ended, that you must give at the end of every story is write the end of the story according to your own imagination. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, other question that you can put up is, have you ever seen anything that has frightened you?
Oh.
क्या आपके साथ ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपने कुछ चीज़ देखी और आप
Yes,
बहुत डर
ma'am.
गए?
You will also share your story, and I will also share some of the part.
Yes.
Some part of that story.
I
Because I was
will
in Himachal.
Okay.
And I was with my family, and I was not aware of that. All of a sudden, the storm will be there, storm and the heavy rain, and we had to cross all the way with the slippery area. And it was really scary, and I was crying.
Okay.
Would I be able to go back to my hotel room or not?
Yes.
So that was the story.
Okay.
And the story can be happen with anyone.
Yes,
ma'am.
so that your case was a real like incident that happened and it scared you.
Because we never know about the
Nature,
weather. Weather
yeah.
can change.
Yes. So what happened? You want to know my experience
Yes,
also?
ma'am.
So mine
Definitely.
was somehow an imagined situation. What happened was one night I was alone. I used to live alone those days, and I joined my service recently. I washed all my clothes, and since it was raining very heavily, I put all my clothes in hanger and just I hang them inside the room.
Okay.
And it was a very thunderous night. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, some lightning came, and I just woke up, and I saw these long figures hanging down, and I felt so scared. It looked like ghosts all around me.
Because it was dark.
So that was
and
my
your
imagination.
clothes itself
Yeah.
are becoming a ghost.
Yes, and they were having the shape of that human body. I
Right.
really got scared, and then after few seconds, I realized that it is all my imagination.
Right, ma'am.
So this is one experience that I had, that I imagined things and I got very scared.
So there can be so many experiences of our children or our teachers as well.
Yes.
Because there are so many things to scare us.
Yes. And since I told you that the story ended in the book itself, but of course we should tell what happened in the real book and the complete picture. So what happens is that when he examines the footprints, he realizes that this is a human footprint, and Crusoe eventually encounters a group of savages. That means whatever he thought was true, okay, and some savages has actually come to the island. He rescues one of them, a man named Friday. What was the name of the man?
Friday?
Friday, yes.
Great.
And he befriends him. So finally, after many years, he got a company for himself.
Great.
Okay. And Crusoe teaches Friday English and how to survive on the island. Right? Life with Friday, how life began with Friday, his friend. Crusoe and Friday lived together, and they faced various dangers, including more attacks from hostile tribes. And they worked together to make their life on the island better, building a stronger shelter and defending themselves. Now what happens next is, after many years on the island, Crusoe finally sees a ship passing by, and he signals to the ship and the crew comes to rescue him. Crusoe returns home to England after spending 28 years on the island.
Oh my God, so long time.
So long time, and
Maybe the old person.
Yes.
If he was in the age of 30 or 28, so he would have become by
58.
now after 28, 50 or 58 years.
So he is actually a real life hero. And what lessons did he learn? He learns valuable lessons about self-reliance, survival, the importance of companionship, and this story is an inspiring tale of human perseverance in the face of adversity. Like whenever you are in trouble, you should not lose hope. You should keep on trying, and you never know what your limits are.
True, ma'am.
Okay, so this is such a beautiful and inspiring story for all of us. And recently I just heard a news that a man, he survived in the sea for 428 days.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is also a similar story.
More than 1 year? 400?
Yes,
More than
28
1.5
or 58.
years,
Yes,
we can say.
so the instinct to survive, to be alive, it is very important, and it keeps us going. Okay,
right.
so whenever you face any trouble, don't lose hope, don't lose heart, keep on fighting, be a warrior, right? Now, are you ready for some questions now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What made Robinson Crusoe think that the print on the ground was a footprint?
Footprint. That was some man is some person, human being is here,
Yes.
and I may survive, and I should find that person somewhere. It's like that.
How did he think that the print that he saw was of a human, not of some
Because-
other animal?
Because he knows the how
Shape.
the how's the shape of
toes and
everybody
heels and
knows it.
everything.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
And
it is very simple.
Why was Robinson afraid when he looked at the bushes and trees?
Because there were other footprints also of animals.
Can you try one more answer?
Yes.
It is related to my experience that I told you.
Oh, so what it can be, ma'am? Let me think once. Why was Robinson afraid?
Afraid because when he ran away and he saw a bush or a tree, he got scared.
He maybe some animal is there.
He imagined things. He mistook them for animals or savages.
Okay.
Like I mistook my clothes for ghosts. Okay.
So it may be
Yes.
the answer.
Yes. And why did Robinson pray when he saw the footprint? He prayed for
Prayed
his,
for the God. At least some human is there for me, or I
or
can
maybe
be survived here
yes,
for
and
longer.
I should be safe from the savages,
Savages.
so that they don't kill me and eat me up.
Right.
Okay. So these are the answers on my screen that the students can learn.
True.
And these are some quick questions again. Robinson ran back to his home as fast as he could because he was racing, he was afraid, or he was in a hurry to go home.
Robinson ran back to his home as fast he could because he was racing, he was afraid, was in hurry to go home. No.
He was
What?
He was afraid.
Afraid.
Yes.
Definitely he was afraid.
And he could not sleep because
There was an animal outside his cave. He thought savages had come from the mainland. I think second one will be the answer.
Yes,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
he was apprehensive that savages have come.
Right. ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have some assignments for my students.
Okay.
We can just quickly go there, and they can write.
Lack of time. Time is running
yes,
out. So
we can cover up the other questions in the next
Right.
session.
Right,
And this is a story, and it will ignite the creativity among students, so they can note this down and write this on their own. So
write a story on stories.
and
yes.
this is one last thing that I'll just show you. Can you guess the footprint? What footprint is this?
Ma'am? Like shoe? Shoe
No, this is of Neil Armstrong, the first human to
Oh,
walk on the,
on the moon.
and it is said that the print is still there. So
Yes.
that is all from my side, and I wish all my viewers a very happy Holi.
Great, ma'am. So that was the story of Robinson Crusoe, and it was first person narration, and it was a story of his confidence, his belief in himself.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So now we have to wrap up this chapter here. So we would like to thank to our expert Deepa Upadhyay ma'am. Thank you, Deepa ma'am, for being with us
Thank
and
you so much.
involving me
Thank
as
you
well
so
here in your session, and which is really very important for our children's also. So children, you have learned a lot and new words also about this story, and I hope you will do the exercise in a better way. So now it's time for the next upcoming program. So let's have a look on the schedule. Dear viewers, you will come to know about the next schedule at 2:30 PM. It's हिंदी. हिंदी का चैप्टर रहेगा 5वीं क्लास के लिए, जिसका टॉपिक रहेगा, विषय रहेगा शीर्षक चिट्ठी का सफ़र। और 3 बजे हम लेकर आएंगे 6th क्लास के लिए विज्ञान का विषय, जिसमें हम बात करेंगे प्रकृति की अमूल्य संपदा की। बहुत ज़रूरी है। और 3:30 बजे हम लेकर आएंगे मैथमेटिक्स का फ्रैक्शंस पार्ट 3, और 4 बजे होगा हमारा गेमिंग सुरक्षा में आज का टॉपिक साइबर स्पेस में उभरती चिंताएं, और 5 बजे हम लेकर आएंगे सहयोग सत्र आपके लिए, जिसमें बात होगी अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ स्लीप ऑन एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस एंड मेंटल हेल्थ। तो ये थे हमारे कार्यक्रमों की एक संक्षिप्त रूपरेखा। फिलहाल मैं सुषमा आप सभी से लेती हूँ अनुमति। खुश रहें, मुस्कुराते रहें, अपना ख्याल रखें। नमस्कार।